Hey, guys, welcome back and happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Guys, we're back to talk about Travis Scott and this Astroworld tragedy. We have a few more details that have come out. But before we jump in, I want to thank you for another amazing round of hot, messy topics. And we will be back today to talk Vanderpump Rules with Jason on his channel, Down with Jason, at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, that's not the reason we're back to talk about, well, it's not the reason we're here right now. We're back to talk about Travis Scott and partying with Drake after the Astroworld tragedy, but also issuing an apology that fans are, well, not taking very well. We have all the details and more. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it looks like Travis Scott was said to be partying at Dave & Buster's after the Astroworld crowd rush when he found out that people died. Now, TMZ reported that Travis Scott was said to be at an after party when he heard people died at Astroworld. One source told the outlet that the rapper left immediately after he was told about what happened, and TMZ reported that the party was hosted by Drake, who was also said to be unaware of the deaths. Okay. Travis Scott was said to be partying at Dave & Buster's in Houston when he found out that people had died in the Astroworld crowd crush, according to reports by TMZ and ABC 13. TMZ cited sources close to the rapper as saying Scott was unaware before leaving the concert that 8 people had died and 100 more were injured there. One source told the outlet that Travis Scott left the party immediately upon learning of the deaths. Well, the source did tell TMZ that Travis didn't know the severity of the situation when he arrived at the after party. As far as his timing, this remains consistent with the fact that no one, including the police, had publicly confirmed the gravity of the events that had taken place. Sources told the Houston outlet ABC 13 that Scott left the party sometime Saturday morning. The party was a pre-scheduled event hosted by the rapper Drake, who was a surprise guest at the Astroworld Music Festival and was also said to be unaware of what had unfolded. The Sun also reported, citing a source, that the party at Dave & Buster's was low-key. The newspaper also reported that its source said Travis Scott left after he was told about the severity of the situation. Everyone knew people died, but it wasn't taken that seriously because some thought it was drug deaths they didn't realize. Okay, this source went unnamed. Now, Drake did break his silence on Instagram in a Tuesday post, and he said, "I've spent the past few days trying to wrap my mind around this devastating tragedy. My heart is broken for the families and friends of those who lost their lives and for anyone who is suffering." Travis Scott also said he was absolutely devastated by what took place and that he was cooperating with authorities, which was reported by CNN. Concert goers have filed at least 17 lawsuits alleging that Travis Scott and the concert promoter Live Nation were responsible for the deadly crowd surge. Okay. Among them is the family of a 9-year-old boy who is in a coma after he fell off his father's shoulders and was trampled. The Houston Police Department, Dave & Buster's, and representatives for Travis Scott did not immediately respond to requests for comment from this story. Now, I want to talk about this really quick because Travis Scott, we've been following this. We know about the Astroworld tragedy, and it's absolutely horrendous. Obviously, we saw where Kylie Jenner issued an apology and said she had no idea what was going on, and she received a shit ton of backlash for it. People were asking her, wait a minute, how do you not know what was going on when you were filming? And we saw in your Instagram stories ambulances. How did you not know what was going on, Travis, when you're singing and you kept singing for 30 minutes allegedly after concert goers started chanting, "Stop the concert, stop the music"? Like, there's something happening down here. And then it doesn't help that the video footage shows Travis Scott looking out into the crowd, and he can obviously see that something's not right. But then fans were wondering, is it an adrenaline rush? Could he not actually tell? Are the lights too bright in his face and the whole crowd looks like a blur? I mean, honestly, I couldn't answer that. That would be a question, I guess, for Jason, because he's performed in front of like 10,000 people, but this is 50,000 people at this music festival. That's not the only thing going against everyone. Unfortunately, we're hearing that security, well, they weren't well versed in what they were supposed to do. They apparently just hired the security days before, paying them $17 an hour and not really telling them about what could happen or how they could take the proper precautions. There were allegedly only 2 water tanks, and there were fans who were jumping over the gates in order to get into the concert. So there was a lot working against them. And mind you, I did Hot Messy Topics the other night, and I brought up a caller, and she was incredibly informative, and she was telling us that I was at a Travis Scott concert, and when I was, the whole crowd was pushing me. They were pushing me forward, and I felt like I was floating. She said it was one of the scariest things ever. And when she was at the concert, there were 2 different sides of the venue. And when Travis Scott was performing on one side, the whole entire crowd came running over just so they could get a front row, seat. Let's just say, let's call it a seat, a front row seat, so they could watch Travis Scott, even though there's no seats, but you get what I'm saying. And by listening to her give us the details of that experience, it makes you think about it, and you're like, oh, this isn't the first time this has happened. Now, Travis has been accused of getting the crowds riled up and trying to get them, in the moment, heated, let's go, let's do this. But at the end of the day, this is all going to play against him if this is true, because venues, insurance, all of this factors in. I'm not saying Travis Scott is going to get canceled, but we've already heard, I think it's Post Malone. I believe it's Post Malone is taking his spot at Coachella. So other venues are already looking at Travis Scott like, no, you're a liability. We're not going to have you, play at our venue or play at this concert because we don't know what's going to come out of it. All right. Well, that's not the only thing we heard. We heard that on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or whatever they're calling it for their new Hulu docuseries, that they have decided, or at least Kris Jenner has decided, to cut out Travis Scott. Now, we don't know if it's cutting out every scene with Travis Scott, because it could be triggering to fans and they don't want the whole docuseries to be about that and get that kind of backlash, because at the end of the day, they are a business and they are on the show to promote themselves and their businesses. Or are they just going to cut out anything to do with Travis Scott and his music career? Are we going to get family moments with him and Kylie and Stormi following her new pregnancy? Or are we going to get no moments at all? Guys, I have a lot of questions to which I need a lot of answers. So go ahead, if you're watching this right now, comment below. What are your thoughts about this after party at Dave & Buster's? And do you believe that Travis Scott left immediately as soon as he heard that there were 8 people who were left dead after the music festival? I'm sure you guys have a lot of opinions, to which I invite you to share them all. And of course, we'll be covering a little bit about this, just bringing it up briefly to ask your opinions on Hot Messy Topics, because I do want to know what you think. Janelle Sunshine said the other day, someone wanted to, or a few people from the concert wanted to sue Travis Scott because of this, and their families want to sue. And now we hear that there's over 17 lawsuits. Well, families are going to be pissed. I'm sure they're going to be pissed. And if they just lost a loved one, I don't know what else you would think that they would do. I understand everyone went to the concert and nobody forced them to, but at the end of the day, the families are going to be like, wait a minute, because the proper precautions were not taken, we lost a family member. This is bullshit. I'm taking you to court. I can see that. But okay. All right, guys, don't forget that we are going live for Vanderpump Rules at 12 p.m. Eastern on Jason's channel, Down with Jason, for subscribers only live chat. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. If you haven't hit that notification bell, well, just go smash it with everything that you have, because you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And don't forget to hit that like button. I hope you guys have an amazing Wednesday, and we're almost to Friday, which means we're almost to Saturday, which is my cheat day. It's my only one day of the week I get to cheat. So I'm so excited. I'm counting down the days. I love you guys, and I'll see you so very soon. Bye, guys.